And we're back.
We're back.
We're back. Oh,
we all had a bathroom break.
Yeah. Oh, I think Mars was in the House of Aquarius there for a minute.
Technical difficulties.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, next up then, huh?
So yeah, the Charles & Charles is pretty widely available. It's a $13 bottle, but I think you can find it for closer to $10. And it's a lighter style. I get a little pepper out of it.
Yeah, it tastes different than the other ones.
It's simpler, but it does the job.
Yeah.
It's a
Summer
good
wine.
picnic wine. Okay, we're gonna.
The bottle's very cool.
Yeah, and the bottle's cool.
Love his packaging.
We're going to invite Virginie Bourg
Virginie
to the center stage here. And
come on up. Thanks for being here.
And this is Virginie's brand new release, her second rosé on the Lullaby label. And you'll see this is a smaller bottle. It's a 500, not a 750. And it's a 2008, not a 2009. Virginie is French-born and educated, and studied probably more viticulture and enology than just about anybody that I've ever run into, and ended up in Walla Walla some years ago, and only recently started your own label with Lullaby. So this is a pretty exciting time for you, yes?
It is, and it's always been a very exciting time for me. Just making wine is very exciting. So you're right, it's a 2008 rosé, and it's purposely done this way in the sense that I'm having a longer process time when I make this rosé. It's been fermented in French neutral oak barrels, and I keep it on the lees, on the fine lees, for a few months. It's been bottled in September 1st last year, 2009. And then I like to keep it in the bottle for a few months until basically spring. So it's about a year and a half from the time I press the fruit to the time I release it.
And this is Grenache.
It's Grenache based, and there is a dollop of Viognier.
But it's I would describe that. Tell me what you think as a very pale copper, but it's very coppery.
It is very pale, and Grenache is not a grape where you get huge extraction. Usually, you really have to, if you want to make a red, to have low yield, and because it's large berries, it's large cluster. But it's very flavorful, and it does lots of complexity to me. That's why I like to make Grenache rosé, and that's also the region I was born and raised in Provence, where we do have a lot of Grenache, and we do also drink and produce a lot of rosé.
So is this a Washington reflection of the kind of wines that you grew up knowing and enjoying?
It's definitely something I brought from home actually, because Washington is home for me now. I've been here for 8 years, and it's very important to bring into my life things that have really true meaning, and that is part of the lifestyle that I grew up with, and I like to share that with my friends. So rosé is such a huge statement in Provence when summer comes, but not just summer. I mean, for me, rosé should be drunk all year around, and I really want to start this battle about rosé is not actually seasonal, because rosé should be drunk all year around.
Where's Trey? We can get a fight going here.
It's delicious with the holidays food, like with turkey and with pumpkin. It's cranberry. I think rosé has its place in very all seasons that have to offer when it comes to fish, to poultry, to even some mushroom. I mean, and you can see all the rosé we've been tasting so far. There is no one that is similar to the other one. So, it's a big family, and I think you can pick any of them and really enjoy it all year around.
Well, you make a very good point, and I think it is an exceptionally flexible wine, partly because of the acidity, and partly because, as you say, there are many different styles made from many different grapes, but they all have a certain elegance to them. They're not heavy, thickly tannic wines that are going to work for certain food matches, but not work for others. This is, to me, it's more like a still champagne. If you worked in Champagne, but if you were to make champagne out of Grenache.
Well, maybe we should start that in Washington.
I mean, doesn't this look like a rosé champagne without the bubbles?
Oh yeah, I mean Bill Carsonnen has this very light rosé color, and I mean that's also one of the reasons I'm releasing a year and a half later my rosés, because when I got my master in Champagne, and I've been truly influenced by the winemaking techniques in Champagne and the way they are actually aging and taking care of the wine. And when it comes, it's like the minerality comes through, the restrainedness, but also the very sophistication that you can get in those wines. And that's really what I want to show in the wine. But it has to be also done in a fun way. So I really bring the fun, but also the sophistication all together.
Mm-hmm. It's fascinating because I think it probably requires a high level of technical ability to pull it off, to keep it that extra year before you release it, and to keep the complexity there without the wine losing that freshness and losing what you want to capture. I mean, most of the time I'm going to tell people drink very young rosé, but I know in France they can age for 4, 5, 6 years sometimes.
Some of them, it really depends on the region. Like in Tavel, you can age Tavel. Even Bandol, yesterday I was drinking Domaine Dot 2008, and it's kind of the same light color, and it was still very, very fresh. So there are the wines that are able to age. Mm-hmm. And also, I mean, you design those wines. Mm-hmm. I think if you put the thought behind according to what you want the wine to be, you are able to actually manage that. As Kay was saying, rosé, it's technically difficult, and it's having consistency in rosés when it comes to color, first of all, is a true challenge, because there is no year where you're gonna be able to really match the color that you had last year. And also, I mean, when you want the balance, the vintage, I mean, if you have a hot vintage versus a cool vintage, your level of acidity will be different. Your sugar level will be different too. And so it's very technically, and you really have to be on top of the vineyard, the source. And there is no secret. When you get great grapes, you are able to make great wines. So everything really starts in the vineyard, but mm-hmm. there is a human eye that is really here to follow the process of what's happening there, and to kind of pull the trigger when that needs to happen.
I just love the whole package. I love the label.